It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazawey. Let's talk some sports.
And here we go. It is Friday, April 7th, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. Ryan Ermanni, Lindsey Hunter.
What's up? What's up?
In for Braylon today. How you doing, Lindsey?
Fantastic.
How are you not doing fantastic on a day like today? Little bit chilly. Little bit chillier than you want it to be, but we're not complaining here. We're going to have 60s and 70-degree weather here in the Motor City over the next week and a half.
Hopefully.
Oh, baby.
Only dummies would go to Florida at this time of the year.
Well, I mean, this is, obviously earlier today, Derek Kemmer's talking about this. This is completely unusual for April in Michigan to have, there's 3 days in the 70s next week, and then after that, it's going to be another 3 days in a row.
Well, let's hope it is, because, we're getting ahead of ourselves, because our weather could change in the drop of a hat.
All right, well, let's start here then. How about that sunshine? Because that we are experiencing. The sun legitimately affects your mood.
I got a little sunburn last night on my head. I don't know why. All this hair would keep it covered, but I did get a little.
Good afternoon to you, Tom.
All right, guys.
Hey,
good to see you guys.
Lindsey, I would like to start the show off today, and I want to say hi to Fletch and JB. You guys, bravo yesterday. Bravo yesterday to the entire crew at Woodward Sports, whether you were down there at the music hall or whether you were back here manning the ship like my main man Fletcher over here. Great job to all, especially those who kept the tent from flying. No, I'm just kidding. The tent that flew in Baydoun and I Euphrates show, that was funny. But I would like to start the show today, Tom Mazawey, with giving you the floor. Do you have something to say to me today?
The thing I always say to you every day, I love you. It's great to see you. Great to hang with you for a couple hours.
Do you have anything else you want to say to me today?
Not really. I just hope you don't mail it in like you did yesterday.
What a jerk this guy. What a jerk this guy. Can you believe this guy? So yesterday, Lindsey, I'm sitting out there. I'm not laying bricks, okay? I'm not laying bricks. But my voice is my wrench. My voice is my stethoscope.
Right.
And I talked for pretty much 8 hours straight yesterday in the cold outside. As Maz's eyes rolled back, he almost passed out of his chair as I said that. It's very strenuous on my voice. There's thousands of people outside
hugging you and kissing
hugging
you
me
and loving you.
And it gets to be strenuous because you're talking louder than you normally do.
Lindsey, let me cut him off a minute. He put me on the side of the desk yesterday and a woman puked her guts out on him. He didn't want to be anywhere near her. So, Maz, you're going to sit over there today. This guy ran for the hills. All right? So I don't want to hear him.
It was either him or me.
I don't want to hear
It was either him or me.
I don't want to hear him whining.
So
stop whining.
Okay, we've got two different stories going on here. Let me first pick up this one since you mentioned it, Tom. So before the show, beautiful setup yesterday at the music hall. Beautiful setup. There's a stage set and a desk and everything like that. Well, there's this girl, early 40s, late 30s.
They were carrying her out like she was an injured football player.
Carrying her out like she was, to say she was blitzed was not even an appropriate description of her. She was all wobbly.
Remember what Mike Tyson looked like after Buster Douglas sent him to sleep? That's what she looked like.
Yeah.
I hate to remember those moments.
That was
sad.
Oh, my God.
That was great. It was
great. I like Buster.
Oh, just like a drunken sailor.
But that's what opening. That's what it's supposed. That's what people go for.
However,
that's so stupid.
However, she had to sit on the stage that was built for us out there, and legit just puked right at the foot of where one of the chairs is set up to do the show.
See, that was a great time to start singing. You know, when people throw up in basketball, when people in the gym and they run till they throw up, so we start singing Duke of Earl.
Duke of Earl.
Yes, because we got you to Earl. So
I love it.
This is just set of us.
Yeah, exactly. So there's 2 seats on the desk. One there where the chick puked, or one over here. What am I going to say? He's like, Maz says, where you want to sit, Rye? I said, here. If he didn't ask me, he had the same choice.
No.
He had the same choice.
He ran like a little child. He ran away from that stage. And when it was time to go back on, he's like, I'm not sitting over there. That's your spot.
I wouldn't have done the show. I wouldn't have done the show.
So they couldn't, like, they didn't wash it?
Well, I think they sprayed it because it was like whatever, but. And then there was somebody kind of standing in it. Because you can't. I mean,
it wasn't a chunky throw up. It was like
liquid. It was all like liquid.
And we were laughing because people were just walking through it later, and they had no idea what they were walking through.
I know.
But I wanted to apologize because I told Ryan, you better show up to work tomorrow. I don't want to hear you call it out. So I do apologize, Ryan. Thank you. Thank you for recovering, taking care of your instrument.
Yes.
Your voice.
It is my instrument.
And coming in and hanging with us.
Look at this guy. Even his apology is a non-apology. That's just like one of those apologies that I'm sorry if I've offended you.
Exactly.
So yesterday at 3 o'clock, I said, Maz, I have no voice. I'm done. I cannot talk anymore. So I barely said anything. Everybody thought I was drunk on the show yesterday because I couldn't get it out anymore.
Right.
And Maz says, you ain't showing up tomorrow. You ain't showing up tomorrow. You're not coming to work tomorrow on a Friday. My voice is fine today after some hot tea.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, hot
after
tea.
some throat lozenges.
Welcome back.
And here we go, baby.
And Lindsey, I love when you're here. You know that. You're my guy. We have some good laughs.
Right.
But you know what? You better get your ass in a little earlier next time.
Can you believe this guy?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Look, he calls me. First of all, I got the call. You know, I was like, I'm in the middle, like, I'm about to hit the track, about to work out. Lindsey, can you come to the show? Sure.
It's a workout in and of itself to sit here and right.
So I'm coming on my way. I'm right up the street.
Right.
Where are you? I'm like, I'm on en route. You're on Braylon's time.
What time was that? 11:45. You weren't here by 11:45.
You know what time it is.
Right. You weren't here by 11:45. He wants to know where you are.
I was dying laughing.
Oh my gosh! But what a great time it is. Hey, I also wanted to say hello to our good friend Tom Mazawey's good friend Ernie Monastino, baby.
Yeah,
Ernie Monastino, good long-time listener,
#1 fan
of the
Woodward
program.
Sports.
He could claim the title for #1 fan.
He could.
We got a lot of them out there, and we love each and every one of them. But Ernie decided to stop by.
You thought it was Mike G first.
I was like, is that Mike G?
Is that Mike G?
Ernie Monastino. You know, Mike G's one of the. There's a lot. I don't want to name everybody because then you're going to forget
so many
somebody.
great ones.
Absolutely. But we had a lot of fun yesterday. Patty Grimes wants to know, how many drinks did Ryan have yesterday?
0.
Thank you.
0.
JB, how many drinks did I have yesterday?
I didn't see you with any, so.
0. It's amazing how you could, I watched it back yesterday. It does look
like you're
you're kind of.
Little floaty.
Little floaty. You know, when you talk that long. When you talk, and I was on the air from 6:30. When you talk that long, you don't even know what you're saying. Like, I have no recollection of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it was like a total autopilot situation.
Right.
Keenan Lyons said he definitely was. He was wasted. LOL.
He wasn't, brother. He wasn't.
You got D Eagle 313. Cap. Christina Gennari stole the show. Ray Burton Jr.
Yes, she did.
Absolutely. Can't forget about the Flyaway Tent, the show. Lindsey, come save the Pistons.
Yes.
That is absolutely one of the topics we'll be talking about later today. But it was great. And it was great to see Christina Gennari out there as well. And our friends from Syntron were out there. We had so many good ones.
Bedrock.
Our friends from Bedrock were out there. Huge Tiger fans. So definitely great. Definitely great.
Opening day was fun. It really was.
Did you get a chance to watch yesterday, Lindsey?
A little bit.
Yeah.
The weather just, I can't do the bad weather, man.
I know, man.
It just sucks. I can't do it. I can't.
And a lot of people, too, we got down there early, and, I was wearing a hat and gloves. And then people show up at 11, and the sun's out, and it's kind of decent. I'm like, bro, you got a hard time with the cold, don't you? And I'm like, I'm free. The wind's howling down there. I'm making
since 6 a.m.
all these excuses.
Once you freeze, it's hard to unfreeze.
Yeah.
Totally.
Once you freeze.
I've been frozen for 27 to 30 years now.
I went home and took a hot shower. No. I took a hot shower. It was totally it, man.
I bowled like a bum last night.
Oh, my gosh. It was bowling night, Maz. How didn't I ask you about it? Did you get any turkeys?
I got a couple, but not enough.
Any four-baggers?
No, I did not.
No four-baggers last night?
What was your average? What was your average last night?
Don't ask.
I just did, man.
162.
No. Shot a 180, a 222, and then I'm not saying the third game.
No, you can't.
The third game was so bad, and we
128.
lost by one pin, and it's all my fault.
What did you shoot, like a
I'm not even saying.
175?
I'm supposed to bowl tonight. I got a sub for myself.
Really?
Yeah.
You just need to sit.
I got to sit out. I sucked.
Sounds
Did
like
you miss-
I
sounds
want
like
to
half
apologize
NBA.
to my team.
Everybody sits out.
Load management tonight, Maz.
I was a load, all right.
Now, how do you face your team when you let them down like that?
Oh, they were all hugging on me. They knew how. No one could feel worse than
Did you
me.
miss a 7-10 split?
I missed a lot. Everybody missed the 7-10 split. I missed the 10 pin. I missed the 7 pin.
How do you miss
by
the
itself.
10 pin?
You don't miss them. Nonetheless,
Not getting paid.
here we are. Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday, gang. Part of the great, one of the great aspects of opening day yesterday was having these 4 Detroit sports legends out. We've got some thoughts on that. We'll show it to you coming up next. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
Hey, I'm always complaining that there's no sun out. The sun is out finally, folks, but you still want to look good and take care of yourself. You got to go to chilipepperstanning.com. They got the cleanest salons in the D and the best trained tanning professionals to take good care of you. 27 locations across Metro Detroit. If you join the Pepper Club, they're going to treat you right. They're going to beat all competitors by $5 on unlimited tanning. Plus, they got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters, chilipepperstanning.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
Three NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Fletch put a really good poll out on woodwardsports.com in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, go ahead and hit that like button for us. Helps YouTube push our content out. Fletch puts out a poll. Was Ryan drunk yesterday on the show? 31% says absolutely. 31%. Now 33% says no. The other choices were yes and maybe. But a no leading at 33% and absolutely at 30%. Those are two polar opposites. And the correct answer, by the way, was
No.
an astounding no. I want to be clear on that. but it is funny to see how people react to it.
Now, if you ask the same question of the heavyweights,
Well,
then there might be a different answer.
Well, because that would have been the truthful answer.
Correct.
Because you should have seen those guys walking around yesterday.
I did.
Oh my gosh. God bless
Penny
them.
was in shorts and a Tigers jersey from 6 in the morning.
Incredible.
He's a beast.
He is a beast. And he's a ladies' man.
Do we
He
call
is.
that a
The
beast
ladies
or
dig
do we
him.
call that a fool?
Well, I wouldn't go tell
A
Penny
foolish
that.
beast.
Maybe.
One of the things about Spenny, the ladies love this guy.
They love him.
I mean, he is a ladies'
He's like
man
a
out there.
motorcycle man teddy bear.
They couldn't keep their hands off him yesterday.
Hey, the man had shorts on.
Absolutely.
I mean, you walk around with
My
shorts on,
goodness.
people, they inquire about
Oh,
you.
no
First, they
doubt.
want to see if you're sane, and then they're like, "Oh, he's a good guy."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what Dan
How do you
Dickerson
not?
said yesterday about the first ceremonial pitch?
What?
He said it's the greatest first pitch ever.
So let's talk about this, okay? First and foremost, let me show it to you, okay? This is Nick Lidstrom, Calvin Johnson, Ben Wallace. They're introduced one by one, and then they kind of wave Miguel Cabrera out. He's like, who, me? Who, me? Totally staged, and that's great and fine and everything like that.
It was not staged.
Okay, Maz, thanks. And they've got these four legends out there, and it's great. This was the moment of opening day. There was no greater moment in opening day history in terms of a first pitch other than this moment right here. Dan Dickerson called it the best first pitch ever in the history of opening day first pitches. And I agree with him. I have one beef with this. One beef.
You mentioned it yesterday.
How in the hell do you keep that under wraps? How aren't you promoting this for weeks, or at least in the 48 hours leading up to the game when you know you've got all the guys signed on and agreed to do it? How don't you tell people? Because I walked from the stadium downtown to the music hall. There were more people outside the stadium than in the stadium at this time. And everybody's lined up to get in. How in the world don't you scream from the mountaintops that you have these guys throwing out the first pitch? I think that was a crucial mistake on the Tigers' part to bring these guys together, have the greatest first pitch ever in the history of Comerica Park opening days, and not spread the word about it. You know what? You could say, Lindsey, and it was promoted as Detroit sports legends are throwing out the first pitch. And no offense, but that could have been Kirk Gibson,
It could have
who's
been anybody.
around
Right.
all the time.
Right.
That could have been Willie Horton, who's around all the time. That could have been Lomas Brown.
Right.
And it's no offense to Lomas, but it's guys that we see all the time, all over the place.
Right.
These guys, I mean, they're newer legends, right? I mean, more people remember these guys than ever remember Kirk Gibson playing, or Willie Horton playing, or even Lomas Brown playing.
Well, to your point, these are guys that we don't see Ben all the time,
Yeah.
because he's kind of behind the scenes type of person, reserved, and so all of these guys are people that you don't see around Detroit. Like you see Lomas, you see me, you see all of us.
I was going to say Lindsey Hunter, but I didn't want
we're part. No. I don't feel offended. We're all part of the community.
Right,
we're like
right,
regulars,
right.
So, but you see, it should have been specified who the guys were, and I think that would have, like to your point, it would have blown it up even more.
It would have blown it up even more. And Maz, if you're down there on opening day and you're, should I have one more drink or should I get into the stadium? Should we go to this tailgate and have one more hello, or should we get into the stadium? I mean, you would ensure that you would absolutely want to be in your seat for that first pitch. That was a huge miss by the Tigers.
Ton of friends down there yesterday. They all came, saw us. A lot of them did. And I looked at them. It's like noon. I'm like, don't you guys want to go to the game? It's like, yeah, we got time. I'm like, you know how long it takes to get through that damn security and get through? Don't you want to see the festivities? It's opening day. You only get this one time. And then you get the flyover, which was amazing. And they're like, I'll wait. Then it's 12:30. I still see them. I'm like, what are you doing? we're fine. Just keep drinking. Keep pounding those freaking drinks. I don't want to go in there and pay $15 for a beer. They're going to pay their regular price out there.
Right.
People just go to this game just to get drunk. Most of them just to get drunk. Maybe there's 30,000 fans down there that really want to see the game. The other 150, 200,000, I don't know how many people were down there.
Yeah, a lot.
I'm guessing. But they all just want to get just completely obliterated and have a good time and just fall on their asses. I want to see the festivities. I want to be in there when Mason does the introductions for the Pistons game. If I don't make it for that, I'm pissed. I want to see the intros. Remember when we were talking to Dre Bly?
Yeah.
I want to hear the PA guy announce my guys coming on the field. What the hell are you doing? If you're a sports fan, get the hell in the game.
But you're talking about the fans. I'm talking about the promotion of these guys.
No.
You're talking about two different things.
The Tigers did a poor job of putting it out there. No doubt about it.
I mean, yesterday I'm on the field since 6:30, and we're looking, Laith El-Sadi, the voice, is going to sing the national anthem, and we have a list of what's going on.
Who sang the national
Laith
anthem?
El-Sadi, he was from The Voice.
Oh, wow.
I think he was a finalist in 2015, local guy.
How did he do?
Singing the national anthem. I didn't know. I was walking over to the stadium.
That's right.
But, and then they described the flyover and the Warthog planes and the 4 pilots, this, that, and the other thing. And then for first pitch, I looked at one of the people I was working on. I was like, who's throwing out the first pitch? And they're like, you know what? I don't know. And then I look at the sheet that says Detroit sports legends will be throwing out the first pitch. It's so ambiguous. And like I said, no offense to any of the other legends that I named, but it wouldn't have been as big of a deal as these guys, I think, because you don't see them.
You don't see them.
You don't see them ever. I don't know. I thought that was a really big swing and a miss yesterday by the Tigers to not put that stuff out there.
Who's the PR director?
Right. I mean, I don't know. Yesterday we're leaving the field from the pregame festivities, and Jennifer Hammond and I are walking. We run into Stoney, and Stoney knew somehow. And it was like this hush-hush thing. And I think Jen said to Stoney, like, oh, wait, you know who's throwing out the first pitch? And he's like, I was sworn to secrecy. I'm not saying. And so we're like.
So they weren't allowed to say it.
Yeah, but then again, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah,
that's my whole point.
Right.
Like,
That made no sense.
I was like, dude, don't say it. It's no big deal then.
They should have been on all the radio stations.
Right.
Promoting it.
Seriously.
Right.
And I do feel bad for the people that were outside the stadium. It must have taken an hour to get into that stadium yesterday.
It's not right the way you have to go to a ball
I don't even know
anymore.
how you get in there.
I remember last year I was in Chicago. I would go to a White Sox Tigers game with my family. It was me, Kathy, and my brother-in-law and my sister. I had tickets Saturday night game. It was Jersey night. They were windbreaker night. They were giving out windbreakers. I swear to God, the lines were from Comiskey, or whatever the hell they call it now, to the highway. Each place. There's no way these people got in before the 4th inning.
So why does it take that long for people to get in baseball games?
Well,
What's the problem?
Each place is worse than the other.
Yeah, it was not a smooth.
No,
it was not smooth entry into Comerica
because
Park
I always
yesterday.
thought like when they put the new arena downtown and going to the Pistons games, I was like watching afterwards how they tried to direct the traffic, and I'm like, we're new at this because downtown hadn't been like this. So I said, in every other city I've ever been to, it wasn't this congested. People weren't trying to direct traffic everywhere. People just went where they knew to go.
Yeah.
Right.
But downtown after games, they cut the street off. They let you go one way. And
I know.
It's
I don't
cluster
understand.
of
I don't understand
frustration.
what they do. I really don't.
They don't either.
It's terrible.
LFG says, did the local guy from The Voice choke in the semifinals like U of M sports teams do on any meaningful national platform? That's a really good tweet. Michigan hockey lost last night to Quinnipiac. I believe it was a 5-2 final.
Bobcats.
Unbelievable.
Minnesota's going to trounce them.
I'm salty, says, I went to one opening day, parked downtown. My car windows were broken out. I've never gone back.
Look at poor Michigan up on the backboard there.
Oh, my gosh. That is so great.
Hey,
Unbelievable.
one good Michigan note, they just signed Dwane, got a good
Yes, he did.
transfer.
North
in.
I got it on here.
From North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
See what difference he makes. I don't know.
Caleb Love from UNC.
Oh my
He better
gosh.
replace Hunter Dickinson.
That is great. Hey, while we're on the topic of the 4 legends that threw out the first pitch yesterday, I think this could be fun. I'd like to go around the room.
Okay.
We'll do it next. Think about it.
I like it.
And I want the people on the chat to get in on this as well.
Yes.
And hell, if you want to call us and give us your reasons why you rank them the way you do, feel free. The phone number to call is 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. The question is, Nick Lidstrom, Calvin Johnson, Ben Wallace, Miguel Cabrera, rank those 4 players in order of importance, in order of legendary status.
To you.
To you.
We'll put a poll up, too.
Absolutely. Rank those players in order of importance to you. We'll do that next. Feel free to call the show or get in the chat, woodwardsports.com. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts and have been for over 90 years. When you see this black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing: stay out. Whether you are at home or on the road, their 24/7 local monitoring makes sure what's important to you stays safe. Customized solutions from real experts and technology backed by people. Call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can and get those great seafood delights that they have. Some of their favorites, the shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, and the new fish sandwich. And tonight's the night. It is Fish Fry Friday night. All you can eat fish fry buffet only at Big Boy.
All right, guys, I asked the chat and I asked everybody on woodwardsports.com, rank your legends, the 4 legends that threw out the first pitch yesterday. How would you rank them in terms of what they mean to you, legendary status, what they mean to you? I like to go around the room and see what you think of it. Lindsey, would you like first crack or do you want to go last? You get to pick what you want to do. Do you want to go first or last?
Yeah, I can go first. I'll get mine out the way. So if I do hurt anybody's feelings, they'll forget it by the time you guys go.
Very good.
So now my list is biased. So
Sure.
I'm letting you know
what it means
All
to
of our
you.
lists
Yeah, it's
are biased. What it
because-
means to you.
Mine's
Yeah.
biased, too.
Yeah, I mean all of your takes
Yeah,
are biased.
right.
I mean we know that
Exactly.
But
Oh, I hear that.
so I'm going number 1, Big Ben, of course. You guys
Number
knew
1,
that, right?
Okay.
Number 2, Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
Because I sat here and watched him suffer for all those years of not having a good team. Number 3, Lindstrom.
Okay.
Because I remember watching the great, hockey teams there. And Cabrera last. I mean, I love Miggy, but
Sure. I
To
mean, we're
me,
talking
those
about
guys-
4 Hall of Famers
Yeah,
here.
so
somebody's
none of
got to
them
be
are
last.
bad.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
none
So
of
it's
them are
got
bad.
somebody is going to have to be last.
it's
You don't
like
gotta
picking,
hang
it's
your
like
head.
picking on the All-Star
Right,
team.
I know. Exactly.
Somebody has to be last. And
Very difficult. Very difficult to pick 4. What do you say, Tom Mazawey?
Okay.
I'm going to get to the phones in a minute. So if you're hanging on the phone, sit tight. I'll get to you, I promise.
This is how I rank them. I rank them on how I loved each guy and how I watched them play and how I enjoyed their game. Number 1 for me is Big Ben Wallace. I loved that Pistons team. I'll always treasure that Pistons team. And to hear that gong at the Palace.
It only means one thing.
It's Big Ben time, and it's going to work. He's my guy.
Or The Undertaker.
Number 2, Calvin Johnson. I'm right with Lindsey right here. 1, 2. Calvin Johnson, Megatron. They made a rule about him. Okay, the NFL screwed him and the Lions, and that's the Calvin Johnson rule. The guy is a horse. He's a monster. He has still the record for most yards in a season, and he played on some lousy teams. Could have won a couple of playoff games here. Who knows what that 2014 team could have done. Number 3 is the perfect human, as they call him, Nick Lidstrom. Just one of the greatest hockey players of all time, one of the greatest defensemen of all time. Should have won more than the 4 cups that he has, obviously. But it is what it is. And then Miguel Cabrera, who, great baseball player, one of the greatest right-hand hitters of all time. I really didn't like his type of personality, what he did, how he treated the media, how he hung on too long here, I personally think. And I look at him this year, and he's like 265 pounds, and it bugs the hell out of me. I'm sorry.
Cry me a river, man.
He didn't
like you.
I'm 265 pounds myself.
You ain't making $35
I'm not making
million a year.
$40 million a year. And that's how I rank.
Maz, your list was just like mine.
It was
exactly the same.
Except I put a little more heart to it.
No, Maz and Lindsey's are the same.
A little more hate.
That's it.
Let me give you mine, because there is one thing that all 4 of these Detroit legends, this specific group of Detroit legends, has in common together. You know what that is? None of them have a personality. None of them have a personality with the media, anyway.
They're all,
you know, however they are in the game and all that stuff, none of them wanted to talk to the media, ever.
Yeah, man. So how can you differentiate Miggy when all of these guys were very standoffish?
Well, I think the other 3 that I mentioned were a lot nicer than Miggy.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
Okay.
And I just don't like how he's finished his career here.
He's old.
The other guys went out with their heads up.
So one of the things about this is, and Lidstrom sat and talked to the media every night. He just didn't have a personality.
Right.
Not that he didn't like you, but he just didn't have a personality. It was like a robotic-like.
Yes.
I am going to put, for my list, championships for a level of importance. So I've got Nick Lidstrom number 1. The guy is probably one of the greatest defensemen to ever play the game, and he's got 4 championships. Mm-hmm. And that's coming from me, I'm not the biggest hockey guy in the world.
Right.
But it is hard to deny Nick Lidstrom's place in Red Wings history. Well, you can say that about everyone.
Had a lot of help.
Had a lot of help. But 4 championships, I got to put that at the top. Number 2 to me is Ben Wallace. People may look at Ben Wallace and you see 1 ring, but you forget an attitude that he brought to an entire era of Pistons basketball. You'll remember he was the throw-in on the Chucky Atkins deal. He was just the extra player that came.
Forgot about that.
And he became the player that was a championship team was built around, essentially. So I have him number 2. Calvin, this is a difficult one for me. Calvin or Miggy. And I'm going Calvin here because, of a personal bias against Miguel Cabrera. And again, this is how I see it. You know what I mean? He wasn't the greatest guy to the media. And when you're making a list, that, to me, affected 3rd or 4th. But when you look at Calvin Johnson, there are very few players in sports that can play a minimum amount of years and become a Hall of Famer. Calvin Johnson played 9 years. There's very few players in the National Football League.
Hale Sayers and him.
That played less than 10 years and made it to the Hall of Fame. That is extremely rare.
Did Bo Jackson make it?
No, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. No.
He should be in the Hall. He should have his own Hall of Fame, actually.
Right.
He should.
He really
so between those 2 elements, obviously, I'm not going to lie to anybody, my personal bias and the fact that Calvin Johnson played less than 10 years in the National Football League and made it to the Hall of Fame, which is nearly unheard of. I've got him third and Miguel Cabrera fourth. All of us put Miguel Cabrera fourth here. Where did we get it wrong? Are we wrong about that? I'd love to hear from you. 313-552-6322. Let me get to Chris on the phones. Bring him in. Chris, what's your list, and how do you feel about all three of us up here having Miguel Cabrera fourth of four players?
Okay, well, Ryan, I'm going to start with you with the Miguel Cabrera thing, because you said championships matter.
Yes.
I know Miguel Cabrera didn't win one with Detroit, but he did win one with the Marlins. Calvin Johnson never did that. So I got a problem with that. And you're a media guy, so I understand that part of it, but Miguel Cabrera is one of the nicest guys I ever met. So I don't know. But anyway, but if we're going with that, let me start this right now. And I'm going to have to say that from listing guys like that, Nick Lindstrom would be number one, but it's not because of the 4 championships. It's because of his longevity and how great he was, period.
That's a great point, Chris. Let me stop you there, and you're totally fine. You got all the time you want, but that's a great point.
Longevity
to be as great as he was for as long as he was, that is unheard of. I mean, that's Tom Brady-like territory.
He could have kept going.
That is Tom Brady-like territory. Absolutely. Go ahead, Chris.
Absolutely. Then I would put Miggy number 2 because of how feared he was everywhere he went, whether it was managers, other players, fans, everywhere. You just did not want to face that guy with the game on the line. Then I struggle with this next one because I'm gonna have to say Calvin Johnson, and it was because of what you said too, just playing 9 years and then being so great for those 9 years, and could have easily played another 4 or 5 more years. For a losing team, yeah, and then obviously there's only one left that brings up the rear, and that's kind of hard for me too. Because I love all 4 of these guys. They're just to me, they're what Detroit sports was all about for me. Yeah. Ben Wallace is just, another nice guy that it's hard for me to put him last, and he won a championship, so it's really hard for me to put him last. But I don't regard championships like other people do, because usually in team sports, it's a team win and not. If it was tennis, then I can say, okay, well, I like Pete Sampras or Andre Agassi or something like that. But this is a team sport, so I don't regard them the same way, because you win as a team, you lose.
Hey, Chris, let me say this about Ben Wallace too when you put this, and thanks so much for the call, my friend. I really appreciate it. And Lindsey, I want your perspective on this. Thanks so much. Ben Wallace, when you talk about Lindstrom, Ben Wallace, Calvin Johnson, and Miguel Cabrera, isn't it fair to say that Ben Wallace is the least talented of those 4 players, but probably had the biggest heart and the biggest effort? And when you talk about Detroit, that is exactly the kind of athlete you love. Right. You might not be the most talented, but damn, you have the biggest heart. Damn, you have the biggest amount of effort in the world. And that's why Ben just feels like such a crucial, one of those legends here that will always live on no matter what time period it is.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head.
Right. I think he I mean, of course, he exemplifies what Detroit stands for: hard work, hard hat, all those things. And for a self-made player who, undrafted, was an add-on in a trade that nobody really thought that he was the guy. And to come to a city and make it his own and put the city on his back and become like the cornerstone of a championship team that's a story, that you make up.
That's a movie.
That's a movie. And he lived that movie, embraced the city, and became the face of an organization without being the typical dominant scorer. So you really don't have those type of things happen. 4-time defensive player of the year, he defied all the odds. You know, undersized. You know, he's 6'7" barely.
Virginia Union.
Virginia Union
University.
So when you talk about a guy that, man,
shout out to Mason.
Absolutely.
It was a marriage, a perfect marriage for the city and being, you know, the perfect storm, and it ended up in a lot of winning seasons and a championship. And, man, couldn't have wrote it any better.
Tobias, let me come to you. You are on woodwardsports.com. Thanks for the call, Tobias. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Huge fan of the show. I want to say, Lindsey, thank you so much for everything that you did during that championship season. I think you and Mike James set the tone defensively in the backcourt when y'all played a full press defense. Like, pit bulls, exactly. I don't think you guys get enough credit for that, but thank you.
Thanks, man.
But as far as the list, though, you have to put, for me, being number one, as you mentioned before, face of the franchise, he set the standard for the Detroit Pistons. Megatron, number 2, and then Miggy, number 3, and then 4 is Nick. And that's only because I'm not a big hockey guy. I support the Red Wings like doing the playoffs, but for me, those are my top 4.
Nice.
Yep.
Good job, Tobias.
That's a good call. Yeah,
hey, everyone's got their own, man.
Yeah.
There's no wrong answer here.
Right. I mean,
There's
if you come to Fletch, and Fletch, I want to come to you right now, you would probably say Miguel Cabrera number 1, probably.
Yeah, I grew up with him. I wasn't part of the media, so he was nice to me.
Right.
I grew up going to games with my dad and playing baseball, and Miggy always threw me and my brother a ball, so I have fond memories of that. Lidstrom's up there. I think Lidstrom's number 2. I grew up watching him win that 4th championship, and then probably Calvin, and then Ben Wallace, but I'm not a big basketball guy.
And you were probably 1 year old, 1 or 2 when in 04.
He was 3.
Oh, you were 3? Yeah, okay. JB, what do you got? Who's your top 4?
I mean, mine is pretty much the same as you guys, although I would just switch Miggy and Lindstrom just because I'm not a hockey guy.
Yeah.
But I do follow the little baseball that I do of Miguel Cabrera, so yeah.
You wear hockey jerseys.
And let's be honest. Let's be honest too. Go back to the mid and late '80s and early '90s. There probably wasn't a bigger jerk to the Detroit media than Kirk Gibson and Jack Morris.
Yeah.
And I really believe that's why Jack Morris is not in the Hall of Fame right now, because he was a jerk to the media.
Isn't he in now?
Is he in now?
Yeah, I think he's in now.
Whatever. Then he got in later, he got in veteran. But that's why he had to wait.
That's why they need a different.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Different, because just because a guy was a jerk to you doesn't mean he wasn't a great player.
I totally agree with you, and I probably shouldn't have raised that point.
No, that's a good point though.
But one of the points I wanted to make about Gibson is the difference between Gibson and Miguel Cabrera is Gibson got it done in championship moments. I mean, some of the most iconic home runs ever hit.
He's got 2 of them.
He's got 2 of them in World Series history. He has them. So
both clinching. Well, one's a clincher. One ended the series, although it was Game 1. The Dodgers. He ended Eckersley's career with the A's and beat the A's in Game 1.
So no matter what kind of personality you have, your play in the biggest possible moments in team sports, he excelled at. He thrived at.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and you cannot take those moments away. That Gibson home run in the 1984 World Series is one of the greatest moments the city of Detroit has ever witnessed. So he could be a jerk. He could be a great guy. He could hate the media. He could never do an interview. You can never take that moment away. In sports and the way you feel about your athletes filled with moments. Tayshaun Prince block on Reggie Miller. You will never be able to erase that moment from your mind.
They don't
if
win
that
without
block
that.
doesn't happen, the 04 championship, I'm not sure. You say yes, but I'm not sure 04 happens.
It still happens.
If not for that block. I mean, these big moments. So, I don't know. It's fun to talk about.
You really think it still happens?
Of course. Light work.
We will not lose game 2. We will not lose game 2. Thanks, Sheed.
You would have lost.
We would.
Hey guys, I want to do a little football next, if I could. Dave Birkett came out with his latest mock draft, and this to me is the perfect mock draft for your Detroit Lions.
Oh, Dave has done it again.
I'll explain it to you next. But first, a message from Custom Health Centers. Give Custom Health Centers a call, because they take the willpower out of weight loss. Whether it's 20 pounds, whether it's 120 pounds, Custom Health Centers has a customized approach to your weight loss needs. What is it? It's custom. So if your body requires, X, Y, and Z, they give you X, Y, and Z. I'm doing a terrible job explaining it, but they helped me lose weight. 20 pounds, my target weight loss goal. They do so much more as well.
Did they help Rick Mahorn?
Yeah, they did. They did help Rick Mahorn.
Really?
Yes, they did. Horn would be 400 pounds if it wasn't for Custom Health Centers. Horn would be 450 pounds if it wasn't for Custom Health Centers.
Too.
Absolutely. Call them today, 844-789-THIN. That number again, 844-789-THIN.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan.
Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals in town. Plus, they will beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. Hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Lions football, it is a big month for the future of the franchise. The NFL draft happening 3 weeks from yesterday. 3 weeks from tonight, it'll be rounds 2 and 3. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. So today in the Detroit Free Press, freep.com, our good friend Dave Birkett put out his latest mock draft. And one of the things that he did with this, I thought this was a really clever thing. Birkett put out 4 possible trade scenarios. And then 5, really. He put out 5 scenarios that the Detroit Lions could have.
4 including trades.
Absolutely. And then he did a mock draft. So let me just go scenario by scenario and then tell you what I think is the greatest one. They are. And I'm not going to go crazy in depth.
Sure, you can go crazy.
But scenario 1, he has the Lions trading down to number 7. So just one spot, trading 6 to the Las Vegas Raiders and selecting Tyree Wilson. I have the Lions taking Wilson at 6 in my first 2 mocks, so grabbing a couple of extra picks to move down one spot and still getting that pass rush help for your defense is a win. According to the trade value chart, Raiders should pay their 3rd round pick, number 100, to move up, but Vegas' 4th round pick is 9 spots later. The Lions don't have a 4th, so there's value in adding the extra pick there. So he has the Lions taking Tyree Wilson at 7 with a trade back to just one spot and adding an extra pick there in the 4th round. Still getting Tyree Wilson. Fine. Good. Does it work? Sure, it works. Not that excited about it. Trade scenario number 2. The Lions move down 2 spots to 8 and pick up Atlanta's 3rd round pick, which is number 75 overall, and a 6th round pick in 2024. Has them taking at number 8 Devin Witherspoon, the defensive back quarterback from University of Illinois. Witherspoon and Oregon's Christian Gonzalez, widely considered the top 2 cornerbacks in the draft. Witherspoon seems like a likely fit or the right fit for the Lions, given his makeup and play. He would compete with the newly acquired Emmanuel Mosley for the starting job opposite Cam Sutton and give the Lions a feisty young corner who could anchor their secondary in the future. Pretty good. Not bad. Scenario number 3, backing up. This one, he has the Lions moving down 5 spots. Now, this to me, ladies and gentlemen, this got me.
This is the sweet spot.
This I had to go to the. I was thinking about going to the doctor today because it lasted more than 4 hours.
How about that?
Okay.
Is this with the Titans?
Yes.
Okay.
The Lions moved down 5 spots from 6 to 11. They get Tennessee's 3rd round choice, number 72, this year, and a 2nd rounder next year. They move to 11, and with the 11th overall pick, take Bijan Robinson, running back, Texas. And the write-up here is Robinson is one of the most talented players in the draft, a do-it-all running back who Todd McShay said last Wednesday is a better prospect than Saquon Barkley was when he went number 2 to the Giants in 2018. The Lions signed David Montgomery in free agency and returned DeAndre Swift. But Swift is in the last year of his deal, and Robinson has impact as a rusher and receiver.
I like it.
Pretty damn good.
The only thing I don't like there is I don't know if he gets past Philly at 10.
Fine. Scenario number 4, commanding a premium. The Lions move down 10 spots to 16, get Washington's 2nd round choice, number 47, 4th round choice, number 118, and a 2nd rounder next year, and take defensive back Joey Porter Jr. Porter is a scheme fit for the Lions. He's long, physical, he can run, and the Lions still have long-term needs at cornerback despite overhauling the position in free agency. There are enough teams in the back half of the top 10 and early teens that could be targeting offensive line and a receiver help, so the Lions might have options here for their defensive line. This is the least likely of the 4 trade scenarios, as Levis doesn't seem like a mortgage the future kind of guy, but the Lions would get a 2nd round pick next year as well to perhaps seal the deal on this. And then scenario number 5, staying put and taking Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson, defensive end from Texas Tech, seems like a guy that is slotted to the Lions a lot, kind of like Christian Gonzalez was, the defensive back from Oregon a lot. I see Tyree Wilson's name a lot.
Let me tell you about Tyree for a second before you skip off. I was talking to a guy yesterday, a guy that listens to Woodward Sports all the time, watches us, and is a draftnik. This guy was just spitting out draft stuff to be like a computer. And he said he read on Pro Football Focus many different places that they don't think Tyree Wilson is a top 20 guy.
Yeah.
They have him from 20 down. Pro Football Focus is Chris Collinsworth's baby. Chris Collinsworth knows his stuff. They've got stats up the yin-yang, this place. And I know he's got a lot of people working under his umbrella, so it's not him picking these guys. But if Pro Football Focus don't like this guy in the top 20, I'm not sure I want him at 6.
Totally agree with you.
And I mean, have we seen him?
No, I totally agree with you.
We haven't seen him.
I never heard his name before the end of the season.
Well, I think our guys will go put their eyes on him, and they'll do all their due diligence.
That's why
because
I'm
a
not
lot
worried.
of times, a guy that may fall out of favor with some scouting service, still may be what you want, and he may bring something that people can't tell you, the intangible part. So I look at the mocks, and I certain things about mock drafts are just I don't know, I don't trust.
Where'd they have you mocked out of Jackson State?
I don't think I was on the mock.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that crazy?
Right. You were a first round.
Wow, lottery pick.
I wasn't on the mock until the end.
You and Alan Houston.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Dave Birkett's official mock here on Freep.com, and you can check it out for yourself. I encourage you to do so. Dave's a great guy, a great friend of the show. He's got Carolina Panthers selecting Bryce Young.
Wrong.
C.J. Stroud, number 2 to Houston.
Wrong.
Then he's got Will Anderson going to the Arizona Cardinals. Indianapolis taking Anthony Richardson. And Seattle taking Jalen Carter. This is the worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, it is.
This is the absolute worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions.
All our guys are gone.
Because all your guys are gone, and all of the guys that somebody would be willing to trade up and getting, even if you didn't want Anthony Richardson, but if he was available, then somebody can call you at 6 and you can make the trade.
Dude, I can't see Anthony Richardson going this high.
There was a report today that Frank Reich, head coach of the Carolina Panthers, is dying to take him number 1. because 2 or 3 years from now, he thinks he is going to be an elite quarterback in the National Football League. And he doesn't think he's going to win out, but I don't know if this report is true or not, but apparently Reich thinks that Richardson is the best quarterback in this draft and really wants to take him number 1.
And don't forget, he's putting it out there, Lindsey, because they have the number 1 pick, and they would like to move down to 2, 3, or 4, still get the quarterback they love, and pick up some picks that they already gave away to the Bears to move up that way.
I think it's a smokescreen.
So it could be.
I watched the kid work out, and of course, workouts mean nothing. Ask the Jets. He looked amazing. I mean, he can run. The ball comes out of his hand like he's just like John Elway almost. Like he flicks it and it's 60 yards.
Right.
All that stuff looks good when there's no pass rush. There's no D-backs out there jamming your receivers. There's no, timing routes that you have to throw. All that stuff looks good. But when you put all the other factors in there, and he didn't play, how many starts did he have? He had, 1 season of starts?
Yeah.
And he wasn't that good.
Right. Yeah, I will leave it up to the evaluators to evaluate, but I hear a lot of this regarding Anthony Richardson, but this is the worst case scenario for the Detroit Lions in terms of who they would like to take. And even if they don't want to take any of these guys, they get dangled to other teams.
Yeah.
So here is what Birkett has them officially doing in his official mock draft. That is trading with Tennessee. That would be scenario 3 on here. And he's got the Lions moving to number 11 and taking Bijan Robinson. Says the Lions can pick from Robinson the best running back in the draft, Porter the best cornerback in the draft, or a second-tier defensive lineman, players like Iowa's Lucas Van Ness and Clemson's Miles Murphy. Bijan Robinson is the biggest game changer remaining in the draft.
Right. Once those big 5 go, he's next.
And Bijan Robinson might be the best player in this draft.
I'd take him over Tyree Wilson.
When it's all said and done, Bijan Robinson might just be the best player in this draft. And I'll tell you this much again. And I'm sorry I'm saying it, I'll tell you this much so much. But if these are the 5 that go before him, I wouldn't even mess around. If you don't think you can get Bijan Robinson at 8, at 11, at 10, at 14, don't even mess around. I'm not even fooling with it. Take him at 6. It's kind of where I am now on the Bijan Robinson and the Lions at 6. Take him at 6. Make sure you get this player. This is the type of player that changes your franchise, that helps take you where you want to go. I love DeAndre Swift, guys, but I can't count on DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
can't count on him.
You can count on him to not play.
I can't count on him. And you do need 2 running backs. So you've got David Montgomery. And I don't know. I think this is the player in this draft.
But don't you think, like, if you look at the draft trends, running backs aren't taken in early rounds anymore. They're not taken early anymore.
He's different, though.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
But the thing is, they just signed Montgomery and gave him $6 million. They're probably not going to take Bijan. That's what it looks. It doesn't look like they're going to.
I mean, you got him on a rookie contract, though. So if you take him, you got time.
I mean, you're going to take just a guy. Do you want just a guy?
Do you want an offensive guard, a tackle at that spot?
I mean, I initially wanted Skoronski there, to be honest with you. But now,
everybody worried about his short arms?
Everybody's talking about short arms and 3'11".
What do you think the guys in the 70s had? They all had short arms.
I don't know.
But Bijan does look special, though. When you watch him run and his feet are amazing. Like, dude looks amazing. I'm a running back fan. I just hate that they've devalued running backs in the NFL now. Like,
hell, you'd like him to be a 49er, wouldn't you?
Oh, most definitely.
Let me ask you this: if you had the ability to take Saquon Barkley at 6, would you do it?
Yes.
Okay. So take Bijan Robinson at 6.
I agree, but I just don't see that happening. Since that draft, Saquon Barkley, what other running back has went that high?
Christian McCaffrey.
He was before, though. He was before.
Yeah.
Who after?
I think Barkley was probably the best remaining
2018
one since then.
2018.
Yeah. I think he's the latest, greatest running back taken that high.
If you had to redraft the last year's draft, how high would Kenneth Walker go?
Yeah, he might go in the first round.
Top 10. He'd be a top 10 player. Kenneth Walker.
I don't know about that, but first round.
I don't know.
I'd like to have him, though.
Yeah, I would too. Guys, we'll take a break, come right back. More Lions talk. We'll go around the NFL. Also, I want to talk about Isiah Thomas. Really interesting stuff regarding one of the Detroit sports legends, Isiah Thomas. But we'll go around the NFL. We'll talk Isiah. We'll do it. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company, ladies and gentlemen. It is Easter weekend. You want to stop in at Fairway Packing Company and really elevate your Easter dinner. Family owned and operated since 1956. You can try the dry-aged Wagyu tomahawk steak, chop house steaks, burrata blend burgers. See why the top chefs in the country choose Fairway. You can visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods on Mack Avenue. The place is awesome. They ship anywhere too, so you can order online, fairwaypacking.com, fairwaypacking.com. Sourced, cut, aged, packed to perfection.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes, you'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck, Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Hey, let me tell you about, you want me to do Swiss? No. Okay. That's all right.
And we're back.
And we're back. Very good. Try Swiss Insurance. Thank you.
There you go. Call Mark.
Very good. Call Mark. We'll get that back in. You know, hour number 2 of the program, if you're watching today's Good Friday, if you choose to celebrate that, if that's one of your beliefs, an Easter Sunday, Passover, Ramadan, a lot of religious holidays around the bend. So whatever you celebrate, happy season to you, essentially. Happy Easter, Passover, Ramadan, all that great stuff.
Doing anything for Easter this weekend?
I'm going to Florida.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I'm
going to Florida. The Easter Bunny is coming to Florada.
Nice.
Leaving tomorrow.
You guys are going to Florida when we're having good weather.
Yeah, I know. So dumb, right? Who knew? Who knew?
How about you, Linz?
I'm just relaxing. Go to church.
Good.
Hang out with the fam, you know.
You and Ivy in the gang?
Yep.
Give her our best.
Will do.
I'm just looking at the chat here, guys, for a second. Ryan, thank God, Ryan, you're not the GM.
Right.
And yes, I'm not the GM. I'm just like a guy with an opinion, just like anybody else. And if you want to call, please, you know what? Tell me why you wouldn't take Bijan Robinson at 6.
To me, he'd be the best player available on the board.
Call the show. Call the show. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. I understand that the running back position maybe seems to be devalued.
Yeah. Doesn't mean you don't take a great player, though.
Exactly. If this is the mock draft that is presented to you, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, and Jalen Carter all gone, would you take Bijan Robinson after that? And that is who... would you take Saquon Barkley after that? And that is who Bijan Robinson is being compared to. Saquon Barkley. Todd McShay calls Bijan Robinson a better prospect than Saquon Barkley. I don't know. I guess I don't see where I'm wrong there.
You're not wrong.
For Tyree Wilson?
Tell you who I wouldn't take.
Will Levis. You know, I mean,
I wouldn't take
I don't think you have to worry. I think he's going to be gone.
I mean, are you taking Christian Gonzalez there? Are you taking Devin Witherspoon at 6? You'd rather take Devin Witherspoon at 6 over Bijan Robinson. You'd rather take Tyree Wilson, a guy you really don't know anything about, than Bijan Robinson. Maybe Christian Gonzalez. You want him. Guys, I don't know. I don't understand that.
I'm with you,
I
man.
can't see past it. Now, if you could trade back and get a couple picks and take him at 11, absolutely.
That's fine.
Obviously. I just don't know where I'm wrong there. I don't know where I'm wrong there.
You're not.
Yeah, if you want to go around the league, Mavs, we could do that. If you want to call up, I will take your call on that. 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. Tell me where I'm wrong with Bijan at 6.
I got something for you guys. This is Pro Football Focus.
If those 5 are gone, by the way. Granted, if those 5 players are gone.
Pro Football Focus put out a mock draft for the Lions, a 2-round mock draft. These are the 4 players that this gentleman at Pro Football Focus has the Lions picking. What do they have there, Ryan?
Tyree Wilson at 6. Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback from Mississippi State at 18. Noah Sewell at number 48. Darnell Washington, the tight end from Georgia, at number 55.
Now,
so
we put this
defense, tight end.
Woodward Sports put this out, and they said, hey, guys, if this would have happened, what would you grade it? At first, I was going to give it an F. I gave it a D for dumb, if you ask me, for dumb. That's a D to me. To me, I don't want those 4 guys as my top 4 picks.
No.
No way, no how, as Rob Parker would say.
No way, no how.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with any of these guys.
I don't.
They're all fine.
Not for my top 4 picks.
Now, Noah Sewell, to me, just because of the bloodline, if you're able to get Noah Sewell, if his motor is anything like Panay, I got nothing there. But I'm only basing that on Panay Sewell.
What would you grade this? I gave it a D. What did you give it?
I'd give it a C.
A C.
I'd give it a C.
How about you, Lindsey?
C minus.
I don't want a tight end. They don't need a tight end. I don't know why everybody thinks they need a tight end. They don't need a tight end.
JB,
That's
what are you
what
giving
the
this?
Lions are famous for drafting. Got to keep
like a C.
keep it alive.
Yeah, it feels like a C. I think the pick of Tyree Wilson there, I think Tyree Wilson, you only take him if you are sure that Josh Paschal sucks.
Right.
If you don't believe in Josh Paschal, you take Tyree Wilson.
Who was our second-round pick last year.
If you don't believe in Josh Paschal, go ahead and take Tyree Wilson. That's what I'm saying. Let me go to the phones real quick. I don't have my screen up here. Go to the phones. Bring in Tobias. Hey, Tobias. How are you, my friend?
Hey, Ryan, man. I have to call back in to comment on this. So in the worst-case scenario, as you mentioned before, if Bijan is available, I will pick him only if – let me rephrase that. The only reason why I would be hesitant about picking Bijan is because we need a cornerback. We have Emmanuel Mosley and C.J. Gardner-Johnson on 1-year deals, and we don't know what's going to happen with Jeff Okudah. That's the only reason why I will consider picking Witherspoon or even Gonzalez over Bijan Robinson. But all things considered, I think Bijan Robinson will be a complete monster with our offensive line.
I totally agree with you, Tobias, and that's the point again. Are you taking the best running back who could be potentially a top 5, top 6 running back in this league, or are you taking Christian Gonzalez, who might be a top 30 cornerback, a top 20 cornerback? I'm talking about a top 5 or top 6 guy. I'm not talking about a top 20, top 25 guy. You know, so that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. Thanks so much, Tobias. Really appreciate it, bud.
Thank you.
You bet. Yeah. So, Maz, I give that a C.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on now. We already talked about the Panthers and Frank Reich really putting it out there that he wants Anthony Richardson as his top pick. The rest of the team, maybe not. So we've chatted about this. How about the 33rd team? Let's talk about them. I like this place. They have put out their top 5 NFC quarterbacks. Take a look at these guys. Who's missing?
Well, our guy here in Detroit, and that's Jared Goff. So top 5, they've got Jalen Hurts number 1, Justin Fields number 2, Daniel Jones 3, Brock Purdy 4, and Matthew Stafford number 5.
He's hurt.
Honorable mentions: Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott.
First of all, Purdy's not going to play.
Purdy's too low on this.
But he's not going to play. It says entering 2023.
That's okay. He'll be healthy soon.
No, he's not. He's out for the year, Lindsey. So let's move Stafford to 4. Who moves up to 5 then, Ryan?
Geno Smith.
Okay, so still no Jared Goff.
Well, how are you moving Stafford up? He may be hurt also. We don't know.
No, I'm moving him up on the sheet. Oh, he's going to be fine.
You don't know. He may retire.
No, I saw him. He's in Hawaii with his family dancing, doing the
he's not working out.
Dance. Matthew Stafford is going to play. He's going to be fine. Relax.
Hey, you're kicking my guy to the curb, but you're putting another hurt guy.
I'm not kicking your guy. I'm just saying your guy is out for the year.
DJ Element writes disrespectful.
You got Sam Darnold as your new guy. Congratulations.
Oh, God, don't tell me that.
I do feel like it's one of two things. Number one, it's disrespectful to Jared Goff. It can't be both either, okay? These things can't both be true. Number one, it's totally disrespectful, and Jared Goff belongs on this list.
He's on the list.
Well, they've named every quarterback in the NFC at some point. There's only 6 quarterbacks that they haven't named on there. All right? So you've got 5 guys, and then you've got another 5 on this bottom row that you cannot see on TV right here.
Do you see the tight end that talked about this? This is Clay Harbor.
Yeah.
Clay Harbor. Who did he play? Did he play for the Niners at one point, Clay Harbor?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
He works for the 33rd team.
Yeah, either way. So it's either 1, disrespectful to Jared Goff, or 2, Maz, you and I are right about the quarterback position for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff has pulled the covers over your head.
He has.
Or whatever the saying is or the phrase is.
He owns the chat. The chat loves him.
Yeah, I mean, they do.
The chat loves Jared Goff.
And that's fine. So it's either one or the other. It can't
Michael
be both.
Harrell loves Jared Goff.
I love Jared Goff. It's totally fine. And again, I just don't think you can build a football team. You can't pay everybody.
Well, you're going to pay Jared Goff.
Exactly. So you know who you're not going to pay then? Everybody else.
Your offensive line, how are you going to pay those guys?
So if you're going to pay, if you're going
to Jackson.
If you're going to pay, so Jackson would be gone. If you're going to pay Goff and you're going to pay Amon-Ra and you're going to pay Sewell, who else are you going to pay? Because you've already paid Ragnow, you've already paid Decker. You know, I mean, that's a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
You know who you haven't paid yet? Anybody on defense.
Yeah.
Everybody loves defense, but nobody wants to pay anything for them. Guys, break. More NFL, and I want to get to this Isiah stuff, too. But first, a message from Cousins Maine Lobster.
Yes, sir. Cousins Maine Lobster, Woodward Sports, brought to you by the fine folks at Cousins Maine Lobster in Detroit.
Where's the truck?
You know it. We're gonna show you. If you click on that QR code next to my big mug, it's gonna tell you where those 2 trucks are in Detroit. Plus, you can download their schedule and order ahead like Lindsey Hunter does. Go pick it up and pick up some points so you could save some money down the line. They have the tastiest lobster rolls, tacos, and more. CousinsMaineLobster.com. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, 1 for you, 1 for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Get some breaking news in the NFL. Thanks to JB for sending this my way. I know the morning show guys were all over this Jeffrey Simmons, one of the best defensive linemen in the game, 25 years old, I believe. The Titans and Jeffrey Simmons have agreed in principle to a 4-year contract extension.
That don't mean they can't trade him.
Ensuring the Titans will have their premier player for the long haul. Big new deal for one of football's top young defenders, says Adam Schefter.
You want to move up to number 6, Tennessee? Jeffrey Simmons and your pick. Would you do it?
No.
Really? Wait, yes.
Jeffrey
of course
Simmons
I would.
and pick 11?
Yes, I would. I
they might have
I misunderstood what you were saying. Yes. I misunderstood what you were saying. But they would not do that.
I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say it.
Yeah. You're just making stuff up.
Thanks
for joining the show, man.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining the show.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'm here. We were just talking about the top quarterbacks in the NFC as per as per the 33rd team. Well, the 33rd team also has the paid quarterbacks. Who is among these highest paid quarterbacks? And PFF, Jared Goff is not in this either. So Jared Goff right now, he is a bargain. Right now.
He is. So Daniel Jones got 4 years, 160.
So 40.
So Goff is getting more than that.
Correct. But right now he's not.
He will.
I'm trying to read these numbers. I'm going to be able
We'll
to do
pop it
that
on the back.
in 1 second. Will you, Mass? Will you? Here, I got it right here. Aaron Rodgers, $50 million. Russell Wilson, $49. Kyler Murray, $46. Deshaun, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, and Matthew Stafford, all north of $40 million. Wow. It's a lot of money, man.
What's Lamar making?
Less than that. I think 32 he'll get. But then you're going to have to add Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert to this list.
They're coming up.
Those guys will probably make upwards of 50 plus, or at least 40. Yeah, I was going to say 48 to 50. Because you're going to make more than Kyler Murray, who's making 46.
So Patrick Mahomes' new deal hadn't kicked in yet?
No. That's why last year was such a big deal.
And Josh Allen.
And Josh Allen last year wasn't, they were getting paid, but their new deals didn't kick in.
Because I know Mahomes is over 50.
So I think it was
the new one.
I think last divisional round, 7 of the 8 quarterbacks in the divisional round were rookie deals.
Yeah.
That is why when you look around the league, ladies and gentlemen, and you ask why I'm so desperate to take Malik Willis last year at number 2, which was a dumb take. Please, one shot. Dumb take. I accept it.
You also said just draft him.
Accept it.
Second round, third round.
Fine. But that's why I'm so desperate to take a guy like Anthony Richardson, even if he sits 2 years, because of the way the NFL is, man. 7 of the 8 guys on a rookie deal in the divisional round last year. And all 4 quarterbacks in the championship weekend.
Yep, you're right.
On rookie deals.
On rookie deals and with really good supporting cast.
That's right. The greatest advantage you can have in the NFL is to have a really good quarterback on a rookie deal.
It's hard to do, though.
It is hard to do, and and you fail more often than not.
How's Trey Lance doing?
Very funny.
Yeah, you fail more often
Brock
than
Purdy's
not.
doing pretty good, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He gave up 3 picks for Trey Lance.
That's okay.
You fail more often than not.
We took 2 quarterbacks and 1 succeeded, so we're 50-50.
You are good.
So I apologize about that, Mass. Continue.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the Ravens. I got a couple stories on the Ravens. We haven't talked about Lamar Jackson in a while. And guess what? The Baltimore Ravens, it looks like they've told their media, listen, we're going to have a press conference to talk about the draft. I don't want anyone talking about Lamar Jackson. That was the word on the street.
They can't do that.
Oh, yeah? Look at this press conference. Check it out.
With respect to this being about the draft and everything, just with the Lamar stuff that's going on.
Hey guys,
are you all looking at quarterbacks
Alex, if you can, this is about the draft. Just move off the Lamar. We're not going to answer one more question today.
About the draft, are you looking at quarterbacks differently because of the situations going on?
Yeah, I don't think we really are. I mean, we
a reporter stood up. Let's say Dave Birkett stood up to ask Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes a question about Lamar Jackson, even though they weren't supposed to. And one of the PR guys from the Lions went up and said, whoa. Stop, Dave, stop. You can't. I told you we can't talk about that. And then the reporter was quiet. Well, what do you want me? Okay, I got to spin the question this way. Yeah, they shushed one of their beat writers from asking a question about Lamar. Did you see Harbaugh's face?
It's so dumb, but like if you're Harbaugh,
he can answer the question. He knows how to answer it.
Dude, you're a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
But
you're a grown-ass man. How can you even let somebody to say, you're a grown-ass man, bro?
I guarantee you, the way, because I looked at Harbaugh and the guy said, they knew what was about to happen.
Right.
They knew he was going to stop any Lamar questions.
And even when there's a PR guy that says, there'll be a press gaggle over here. There'd be a press gaggle over here, and whether it's I don't want to name anybody, but there's a guy that doesn't normally talk to the media, whether it's a general manager, an owner, or something like that.
Right.
And you're there, and you see one of these PR guys say, "That's it.
Yep.
It's over."
Yep.
I'd be like, "I'll tell you when it's over."
Yeah.
I'll tell you when it's over. What do you do? You don't know.
They think they're Mills Lane stopping a fight.
I mean, it's like Yellow Jacket guy. It's like Yellow Jacket guy.
Yellow Jacket guy.
And by Yellow Jacket guy, I mean, you ever go to a concert or a sporting event, and the guy that wearing the yellow jacket that says security on the back is like, no,
at the
don't.
At the Palace, they're red jackets.
I mean, come on. Red jacket guy, then. I mean, come on. So dumb.
Isn't that something?
Such babies.
So
Can't speak
had
for
that happened
yourself.
to you, you were about to ask a question about, Lamar,
Whatever.
and he walks up to you and says, "Hey, guy, Ryan."
It's just no. You
would
know what?
you rephrase your question, or would you just totally shut down?
I would rephrase the question because, look, you know what? I'll be totally honest with you. We all got mortgages. We all got bills to pay. Like, if I was independently wealthy, the amount of people I would tell to F off legitimately would be no. But we all get in line, right? We all get in line.
You mean like Barstool guy?
Yeah, because we get, we all get in line because we all got mortgages to pay. We all need jobs. You got all these things to do.
Barstool guy just tells you what he wants to say.
Well, he's independently wealthy.
He don't give a damn.
You know what I mean? He don't care if he gets fired. He don't. You know, who's gonna fire him? Him?
Yeah, fire himself.
You know what I mean? So either way, I don't know. I hate it when you got grown men, like you got a grown ass man standing there. Nope, you cannot ask this person this question.
But you know what? In his defense, the PR guy's defense, maybe that was the rules that Harbs and the GM,
of course,
Costa laid down. And if he did let the reporter ask the question, then he's going to have to get an earful.
But if you're not in control of other grown men either.
Right.
All you have to say is, guys, we're here to talk about the draft. Like Bill Belichick would. Guys, we're here to talk about the draft. And the reason why people...
But do you even like Bill Belichick's approach to the media?
I don't.
It's terrible.
I don't. It's terrible, but you know what?
What?
I never heard somebody speak for Bill Belichick.
No, you never will, because I mean he'll
because
give
he
you
can handle himself.
Yeah, but he'll give you
right.
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
And exactly. And if John Harbaugh or the other guy were as disciplined as Bill Belichick is, they would be able to be up there at a podium and answer the question. Well, I'm here to talk about the draft.
You know who the best
ask the question
was, right?
again. I'm here to talk about the draft. If you got a draft question, I'll talk about it.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Right.
I'm going to give you guys a question. This is the question. I want to see if you guys would know the answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
What Detroit guy was the greatest? Didn't need a PR director to not answer your question and to completely change the subject.
What?
What Detroit
legend?
Coach, GM.
Could we get a sport?
Yeah, I don't know.
If I give you the sport,
just
then you're
say
gonna get
Sparky Anderson.
No.
I don't know. Just say
Scotty Bowman.
Oh, Scotty Bowman.
Scotty Bowman. You could ask him a direct question about the game, and he'll talk about, oh, yeah, I saw Tiger Woods yesterday. He'll just completely turn the he didn't need a PR guy. he was the mad scientist. Shout out to Scotty Bowman, who was the best ever at doing that and the best ever coach. If you ask me.
Very good. Hey, you got...
I got another Raven here. Ravens have offered OBJ a contract.
Good. Oh, good.
Let's go.
See you in New York.
OBJ hasn't signed it yet, and
he's trying to wait. He's trying to wait on
Aaron Rodgers. There was a picture of Aaron Rodgers working out with who was the Packer that is
Alan Lazard. Hey, Maz, by the way, the chat wants to let you know that the Barstool guy, his name is Dave Portnoy.
Yes, I know.
Okay, very good.
I just call him Barstool.
All right, very good.
We don't care what his name is.
I know what his name is, guys.
Extreme
I call him Barstool.
Extreme Shaft says Ryan is good at taking it. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with these people?
They just like to give us crap.
What are all the
gosh. Guys, we'll take a break. Isiah Thomas in the news quite regularly lately. We'll get to it next. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
Yes, sir. The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. 2 ways to play it. $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. 10 or 12 people on a lane. Get it for 2 hours, and it runs you $120, less than $10 per person. How about that, huh? So that's a fun way to play, especially when the place gets crowded at night. And how about if you're thirsty, they got you covered. Multiple full bars and, of course, over 100 beers on the beer menu and the $2 mystery beer machine if you want to roll the dice and see what kind of beer you can get for $2. Bring your own food in or have it delivered. Get down to it. The Foaling Warehouse. It's get your foal on time at foalingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir-fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness is your home to the judgment-free zone.
No
where
judgments.
You can work out in a non-intimidating,
No
judgment-free
intimidation.
atmosphere. Yes, the gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. With tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes in a 30-minute circuit, and all memberships include fitness training. But the best part about all this, you get it all just for $10 a month.
Only $10?
Yes, Ryan. Only $10 a month. Join Planet Fitness in Club today, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Guys, Isiah Thomas is in the news a lot lately. He went on a podcast with Steven Jackson, and I'm not sure, was it Matt Barnes? I'm not sure who.
Matt Barnes.
Yeah, okay. A couple of weeks ago, maybe about less than 2 weeks ago, and they asked him about Michael Jordan. So he was asked a question about Michael Jordan and what it would take to be friends or make up or whatever. And Isiah Thomas just quite plainly said he went on national television, said he hated me and that I'm an asshole.
Right.
So he would have to go on national television and apologize. And that created a whole new storm.
Meanwhile, you have not heard a peep out of Michael Jordan. Not a peep.
And let me share something with you.
Okay.
You're not going to hear a peep.
Very good. Very good. So Isiah has been tweeting about it because he's kind of being attacked online for even referencing this feud.
Who's attacking him?
Tweeters.
A lot of players.
A lot of people attacking Isiah Thomas for even invoking Michael Jordan's name and saying, "Bro, get over it. It's not going to happen."
Oh.
Kind of like you just said. Really, Michael Jordan would never apologize to Isiah Thomas.
Well, he said, "I beat
apologize
this
to
guy.
anybody."
I beat this guy, and this guy." I beat Magic. I beat Bird. I beat Michael. And that's what people are coming at him. And one guy even said, you never beat the Bird. And then he says something about Michael owns Chicago. And then he went in to say, hey, if you really came from a city, you don't have to say I own that city. He wasn't born in the city. He's not a Chicago guy. I was born in Chicago. I was born in the inner city, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Chicago guy. That's what he said recently.
Right.
And so Charles Oakley went on that same podcast and said this.
He still want to be Mike. Mike do not want to be your friend, Isiah. I'm telling you for the 5th time. He do not want to be your friend. You know, stay on ESPN, keep talking on TNT. Oh, Mike's just, now you trying to say everybody better than Mike. It's okay. You not better than Mike. He came to your city and took your city. That's why you really mad. He took over Chicago. I know. Tough.
Man, those guys, like, seriously, too, like, I got very little respect for Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, too, to sit there and let him talk about Isiah like that, because Isiah just sat in that chair and they were laughing with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's what, the show is called All the Smoke. So, I mean, what do you think they're going to do in there? They're going to sit there. Guys are high as kites up in there. So all they're going to do is laugh.
Right.
But Isiah's my guy. And y'all know Isiah's my guy. So, I don't think it's as big of a deal as everybody's making out of it. Because I think when Isiah was asked the question, what would it take for whatever, he just answered the question, right? So Isiah probably really doesn't care if MJ apologizes to him. And, of course, MJ doesn't care to apologize. So it's two competitive guys who were the best in their eras, It's going to be that way. Like, nobody's going to like Karl Malone.
Right.
People are going to hate Bird forever. It's just the way it is. Who cares?
Let me read for you what Isiah tweeted about that Charles Oakley soundbite. I remember us kicking your ass a lot. Someone please check my record versus any team that he played on. Sit down, be humble. That was Charles Oakley.
That's great.
He also said, I grew up on the west side, sometimes with no house to call my own. I never had an ego to call a city mine. You are not from Chicago. That's why you think that way.
There you go.
Good for Isiah Thomas fighting back a little bit. For the record, I'm not beefing or hating on anyone. I'm just correcting and teaching factual, documented history, not mythology. Isaiah's on a roll, man.
I love it. Stay in the news.
Seriously. One of the guys, Chuck Modi, who wrote this, too, that Isiah Thomas retweeted. Isiah Thomas and Charles Oakley are two of my all-time fave players, but Isiah as villain has always got way more attention than his decades of hidden activism for black, LGBTQ, HIV+ lives and players' rights. And he wrote about that. Like, Isiah is out there trying to make the world a better place, and Charles Oakley's out here getting banned from MSG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that wasn't his fault at MSG.
Let it be known.
The Knicks owner is he's up there with Daniel Snyder.
Yeah,
I don't know who's worse, James Dolan or Daniel Snyder.
That was very uncalled for at MSG, though. That was Bush
It's
league.
garbage. Yeah. He's garbage.
That's why they won't win a championship. Sorry, your guys are doomed.
I know that.
Oh my God.
They are a pretty good team though this year.
No, they are good. They'll play in the first round.
They might beat the Cavaliers in the first round. I doubt it. They might beat the Cavs in the first round.
New York? Are they gonna?
Yeah.
No, they won't.
No.
Little side bet.
Hey, make it easy on yourself.
Cousins, Maine Lobster.
Let's do it.
Lindsey's in on that one. Lindsey's in on that one.
I got the Knicks. You got the Cavs.
Yep. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Let's play ball.
Oh my God.
Let's do it.
Anywho.
Wait, I want to can basketball for a
Okay,
minute.
go ahead.
I got Mr. Basketball here. Okay.
Go. Yep.
All right. The Pistons clinched the worst record in basketball the other night. You know what that means, Lindsey? It don't mean anything.
Diddly squat.
It don't mean squat.
Right.
Because they could still finish 5th in the lottery, which is a crock of
diddly squat.
Exactly. How do you fix how does the NBA fix this? Because the NFL is the big king, right?
Right.
Who's getting the number 1 pick this year? It was the Bears. They traded it to the Panthers. If you're the worst team, you get the first pick. You don't drop out of the top 3. What the hell, man?
Well,
and I know I keep beefing on the lottery.
Right.
It's got to change.
Well,
and I just want to know how you feel as a player, as a coach, and as a fan.
I personally, because I don't want, you don't want to see teams, you don't want to hear about teams tanking.
Well, what did we do?
Huh?
What did we do?
We just lost.
No, we tanked.
No, we didn't tank.
He built the team to tank.
But those guys didn't tank.
No, but
they tried to win.
Yeah, but you can't win.
Cade was
when
hurt.
you're undermanned, you can't win.
Right. So we didn't tank.
Right.
You know.
You can call it whatever.
Let's agree to disagree. Okay. Anyway, what I would do, because I don't like the tanking stuff, I would take the worst teams, and I'd play a tournament, and the winner would get the lottery pick.
Okay, so the 4 worst teams are right now the Rockets, the Pistons, the Spurs, and who's the 4th worst?
I don't know.
Let's come up
well,
with
it's those 3,
Well, I'm
and
just
then
saying.
everybody else is.
No, but I'm going to say who's the 4th. And then I want to say, I'm going to ask you, who's going to win out of those 4? Who could win a tournament to get the number 1 pick out of those 4 teams? The way the teams are constructed right now.
Wow, it's way beyond. I mean, Charlotte at 26
Charlotte,
wins.
26 wins.
Okay, so Charlotte, there's your 4th.
10 wins more than the Pistons.
So the worst team is the Pistons.
Right.
They'll play Charlotte. The Rockets would play the Spurs.
Yep.
Are we doing 1 game each or 2?
Here's
That's the 3.
Here's the 5 worst teams. You want the 5 worst
No,
teams?
4.
Oh, okay.
4.
Okay.
4.
Are you playing best of 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's going to win a best of 3 between the Pistons and the Charlotte Hornets?
Flip a coin.
You believe that?
Yes. We beat them.
Okay. Good. So we have a chance to win that.
Yes.
Let's say we win that. Now the Rockets play the Spurs, best of 3. Who wins that?
Rockets, Spurs, flip a coin.
Okay, let's say Spurs beat them.
Okay.
So Spurs final against the Pistons, best of 3 for the number 1 draft pick. I love that. Those are 4 teams that are pretty pathetic. All right, that could stick.
Because we beat the Spurs too now.
Okay.
See, we can win this
Okay.
thing.
So give me that then. Then a ping pong ball with 14.3%.
Yeah.
Give
we
me
can
that.
win that. Hey,
What do you think?
You know
I think
what?
we
need
got
to
it.
pitch it to the commissioner.
Yeah, you know what I'd like to see, and I
What?
mentioned this last week. I'd like to see the 10 teams that don't make the playoffs
But we can't beat that team.
play a
Yeah.
March Madness type.
Just for the hell of it?
Play a March Madness type bracket, 1 game elimination, and the winner gets the number 1 pick. Like the
No,
order.
that's
No,
not
Ryan, the
right,
10th
Ryan,
team. We
because
can't
the best
beat the
team
10th.
will
You're
kill
right,
us.
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Top
you're right.
4.
Yeah.
Bottom 4. That's it. You don't do this week. This is the last week of the NBA season. You throw this week away. Everything is clinched against them anyway. And you play this last week, the worst 4 teams.
You play.
Winner gets the freaking number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Loser gets the 2nd pick. And the other 2 picks, whoever you flip a coin
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
For 3rd and 4th.
Right.
There you go. How hard is that?
Not hard, and neither is this. Going to Les Stanford to buy a car.
You don't care what I say.
No, I don't. Right now. Les Stanford has expanded into Ferndale. A trusted name for over 50 years, Les Stanford Buick GMC. Same great service that customers have come to know. You can go check them out on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile, for Buicks and GMCs. If you're looking for a Chevy or Cadillac, go ahead to the Michigan Avenue location in the great city of Dearborn. You can
Down there yesterday.
You were. Get out of here. That's awesome. Find the brand you want. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Find new roads.
Find them.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry. Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. If you have a big project coming up, give Alta Rental a call. Do it today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO, the number 2, Alta.
Pretty good stuff there. Hey, Maz, I did want to get into... what
did you want to get into?
I wanted to get into a little bit of Detroit Pistons talk.
Yeah.
Because we did talk about this, Lindsey, and you can leave yourself out of it if you want.
Will do.
You can leave yourself out of it. You know how we feel about you. You know how we feel that we believe the Detroit Pistons need a change at head coach, and we're just going to get this on the record. We believe you would be a perfect choice to be the next head coach of the Detroit Pistons. I don't even know if this is a fair conversation to have with you in the room. But nonetheless, it does appear that Dwane Casey is on his way out. He met with Pistons owner Tom Gores 2 days ago for about 40 minutes. After the game, there's Yahoo Sports coming out with a report today that all the Pistons staff members are fully expecting Dwane Casey to not be the head coach next year. So all those the 17 assistant coaches that the Pistons have, they're going to be needing other jobs too. Remember when they just had the Brendans, Sir and Malone, or Mike Woodson, Malone. You know what I mean? Mike Woodson.
He's in Indiana now.
Yeah, right. So either way,
Arnie Kander.
Yeah, exactly. Arnie's on as well. Mike Abdenauer wasn't an assistant coach, but they were trainers.
I see Abdenauer at church all the time.
Good. Very good.
With the conveyor belt on, like his Batman
belt.
belt.
You're right. Anyway, I just... It didn't work. It's not working. How much, Lindsey, could a coach help this basketball team? Sometimes you just need another voice. I don't want to say what's a realistic expectation, but I feel like this city, and we were just talking about Ben Wallace, right? And that 04 team, that 05 team, that entire era of Pistons basketball, you were not a cool person if you weren't at the Palace. Who's who of Detroit? Who's who of anybody in this city wanted to be seen at the Palace of Auburn Hills during that era? 250 plus consecutive sellouts in that building. You just wanted to be there, and now people don't even care about the team.
Well, it's hard when you're losing, but our fans still, we were the top 12 in attendance in the entire NBA this year. So that should tell you that people want to cheer for something. Mm-hmm. People still came out, man. Those games were packed. And that's what, a young team that, with a ton of injuries, a lot of guys didn't play. Cade didn't play, for the majority of the season. So, I just think with the fact that Cade will be back, Stu didn't play the last part of the year. So there's a lot of guys missing from the mix. With the team being healthy, it'll be a lot better. It'll be a better product on the court next year. And who knows what pick we'll get, to piss Maz off again. We got a 15% chance, just like the other, two guys?
Right.
To maybe get
14%.
Maybe get the first.
I'll make a prediction. The Lakers will get the number 1 pick, even though they're in the playoffs. Even though they're in the playoffs, the Lakers will get the number 1 pick. It's bull.
I keep thinking San Antonio is going to get it. I just think the conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I just keep thinking San Antonio is going to get it because of the French kid, and they've had experience with that.
Tony Parker.
And he has big guys, and he loves – I don't know, man.
Let me just read this quote that you're seeing on the screen right now, and if you're doing audio only, let me read this from Dwane Casey. Quote, I want to do what's best for the organization, whether it's coming back here and coach or whatever. Tom and Troy has for me. I'm a big boy. I've got a lot of basketball left in me. So I don't know if that sounds like he wants to coach any more or anywhere else, or if he just wants to go up to the front office because, every organization would have a spot for Dwane Casey. He's got a great basketball mind and could offer any organization a lot of skill and expertise. It just feels like this team it doesn't feel like it. This team absolutely needs a new voice. That's how I feel about it. It's nothing wrong.
It's not even a subject.
It's not even a subject. I'm trying to dance around it here because we all want Lindsey to be the coach. So, right, thank you. How much, what needs to be done with this team? How many years will it take for the Pistons to be relevant again? I mean, if you look at Cade Cunningham, Cade looks like he's put on a couple of pounds. How quickly can Jaden Ivey turn into something? Jalen Duren, he's 19 years old doing stuff that Dwight Howard did out here. But do you have to wait till Jalen Duren is 23, 24, 25 years old? Or at 21, 22, could you see something?
Well, you have to look and see. Most guys that start...
Don't forget Wiseman.
Yeah. Well, most guys that start... When you start entering into, like, championship, being competitive for a championship, most guys are, like, 27 to, and up. It's very rarely you get young guys. You had that OKC team that made that run. I would be interested to know how old those guys were because they were pretty young. But it's hard to compete for a championship at a young age, man. It's just so much you have to go through. First, you have to get the talent.
Right.
And I think we're starting to see, we're acquiring a lot of talent and assets and salaries won't be a problem for now. But it's going to depend on a lot of different variables, man. Who do we get in this draft? How will the team be constructed going forward? Are we going to keep some guys? Are we going to make some moves and trade some guys?
Well, Lindsey, 1, 2, and 3. If you don't get the first pick, who are you picking at 2?
Scoop.
Okay, if you don't get the second pick, who are you picking at 3?
Man.
The kid from Alabama, right?
Yeah, but he just got abused in the NCAA tournament. And he's got baggage. We don't know what the hell is going to happen with him.
Yeah, I would think but you're right. That kid is probably going to go. He may go 2. You never know. But I love Scoot. I've watched a lot of film on Scoot. I like him a lot.
So if Scoot comes here, then how do you move the other players?
You play Scoot at the 1. You play Jaden at the 2, and you play
Cade at the
3. And you got 3 guards that can all dribble, drive, and create and make plays.
Now you got a lot of money, too, to spend.
And you got a lot of money to spend.
Who would you go out and get? Let's say you got those guys.
Not the general manager.
Well, you know there's some players out there. You got Chris Middleton's going to be out there, former Piston.
Right.
You got Jeremy Grant. He's going to be out there, former Piston. And there's a few other guys that are out there as well that you could maybe talk into coming back here.
Well, money talks. So,
we got money.
Get that money. But I would definitely go after some veteran guys because I think you need some solid veteran guys in your locker room to kind of guide these young guys, preferably some guys that have won championships or won a championship that can kind of help teach our guys, the right direction and how to do things, the winning way.
Can you go out and get a guy that would want to come here?
Yeah.
Can you go out and get a star that would want to come here? A second-level star?
Man, that'd be tough because if you did that, especially on the perimeter, then you would be pushing one of your young guys back.
Right.
So development, the development part, you have to look at that because I really honestly believe you have 2 perimeter guys who can be a part of championship future, with Ivy and Cade. I really think those guys have what it takes to be a part of a championship team. So going to get another perimeter, unless you can get a guy that would come off the bench and not disrupt what they're doing, then that's the only way I can see that working. But you have to bring the right guys in. Like I'm big into even guys that don't play much, they have to be the right type of people because you don't want a distraction, especially a guy that's not playing much.
How about Kuzma?
I like Kuzma. because I think Kuz can play multiple positions. You can play him at the stretch 4. He can play some 2, some 3. You can move him around. So it just depends, man. It depends on who's out there and how they mix with what we already have.
Good stuff. It's going to be a long off season, and hopefully in a couple of weeks. When is the draft lottery? May 17th or something like that.
It'll be during one of the playoffs.
Oh man! And then the June.
We can get Victor, man. It's all worth it.
That's right. No doubt.
Do you really think he puts him on the map?
Yes.
Oh God, yes. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
He's a generational player.
Yeah,
if he can stay, if barring any injuries, because I think. When you look back and you look at Giannis, when Giannis first was with Milwaukee, nobody really thought Giannis was going to be what he is now.
Sure.
Nobody. He was coming off the bench playing very little. He was skinny. And now, he looks like a Greek god, and he is a monster.
He sure is.
Speaking of big guys, too, how about the Oklahoma City Thunder? Oklahoma City, they had a real bad break with Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
And they're 39-42, 10th spot in the West. I tip my hat to those guys.
They got like 1 million draft picks stocked up.
I tip my hat to those guys.
Yeah, but Ryan, how long are they going to be mediocre? They've been mediocre since they lost the big three.
No doubt.
So he's had plenty of time.
Yeah. But you'd like to believe it's happening for them now. I mean, a little bit. How many years has it been? 4 since they lost Westbrook?
Well, he came back, didn't he go? Or they just left him last or something?
Yeah,
was he the last one?
Yeah, they left him last.
So I mean, but you lose KD, you lose Harden.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
They've been through the mill.
Yeah, they've been through the mill.
It's tough.
They've been through the mill. Guys, I want to take a break. Final break of the show, final break of the week. But let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. You can come to Lady Jane's. Look good for the holidays here. Look good for Easter Sunday, Easter brunch. Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
All right, final segment of the program. I want to thank everybody who is watching and listening to the Woodward Sports Network. Kicking it with Chris says, would y'all bring Draymond for some leadership on a nice deal? Do you guys like playing at home?
Well, he's playing with house money. He's won all these.
You love that.
He's won all these championships already. Why the hell not come home and help the Pistons win?
Maybe you don't want to play at home. Maybe he likes living out there in San Francisco with all the.
I don't blame him.
San Francisco's terrible. What's happening in San Francisco?
But it's still beautiful weather, and it's a gorgeous place, gorgeous city.
Oh,
just a lot of bad crap happening everywhere.
Yeah,
a lot of bad crap
very
happening
good.
everywhere. Lindsey, you like him? You like Dre?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
You didn't convince me. You're not convincing me.
Look at Maz trying to start everything over here.
Yeah, Dre's my guy.
All right, that's
Dre's
what I
my
want.
guy.
Very good. Maz, what do you got here? Stetson Bennett real quick.
Listen,
I wanted to get it in.
I wanted to play the Stetson Bennett for you. Yesterday I wanted to play it, so we'll do it for you today. He was arrested in January. He was drunk, and he was walking around. I guess it was a bunch of condominiums and townhouses, and he said he was locked out of his friend's.
I don't use them.
He said he was locked out of his friend's house, and he didn't know where he was, and he was trying to find it. So he was knocking on this woman's door. She calls the police, and I'll let the police body cam take it from there. Give a listen to what Stetson Bennett.
Step out. Let me see your hands. Put both hands in the air. Keep them up. Keep your hands up.
Right now, you're just gonna be detained. So what's going on? We got a few calls about you being out here on the by the front door. So what's going on? If all else fails, then unfortunately you have to go to the drunk tank and sleep off all the alcohol. All right. All right. So we're just gonna sit you down for a couple minutes. I'm gonna go try to see if I can't find your phone. See if you didn't leave it over there by one of the doors.
Right here.
Watch it.
God damn, man. I can't move my fucking wrist. This is fucked up, bro. This is way too tight, bro.
You're just gonna have to.
God damn.
I double check the cuffs. All right.
You double check the cuffs.
All right.
This is.
Just sit tight.
Jesus
Just sit tight for a minute.
I can't move. I can't
Can you
move.
just try to pull your knee in a little bit?
Why would I try to do that? Why don't you just undo the hands a fucking little bit? Jesus. Are y'all gonna give me a shot to fucking answer this shit or what?
Can you go and step out for me, please?
Thank you, sir. Well, it seems like they will.
Do you have anything on you that we need to know about? Any illegal drugs or anything?
Listen, brother, y'all won't give me my hands.
So right now you're under arrest for public intoxication, okay? So we weren't able to find any phone over there where you were last seen, all right? Did a pretty extensive search over there.
Reputation ruined. Everything I worked for 20 years ruined. But y'all boys just looking out for me, aren't you? Thank you, sir. I just looked the right way, but you not.
That's Stetson Bennett, the former Georgia quarterback.
Just for the record, did he ruin it or did the cops ruin it?
Well,
I'm
he
trying to
didn't-
figure out what
He didn't do himself any favors. He's drunken, disorderly. He's knocking on people's doors. The woman got spooked out. She called the police, and they arrested him and stuck him in the back of that car, that sardine.
And then let him go, right?
Well, he's free now.
Right.
He's free now. Matter of fact, he threw the first pitch out at the Braves game yesterday. He threw like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at the Braves game
I'm
yesterday.
saying he wasn't driving.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You can't be on people's property.
I know,
though,
but
knocking.
once they find out it's Stetson Bennett, can't they take care of the kid a little
like,
bit
yo,
better?
man, what are you doing?
Right. What are you doing?
He don't have a record.
He was lost, wasn't
Right.
he? Was he lost?
Yeah,
No, he was lost.
You don't have a record?
Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Think back to your young days.
Dude, trust me. I was no angel. I was no angel. That I can tell you.
None of us were.
That I can tell you.
You know,
Why you busted his chops
But I'm
so
like,
much?
if he wasn't driving,
he wasn't.
What I mean, he wasn't. He didn't break in anybody's house.
No.
He just knocked on the wrong door.
Right.
Yep.
Hey, lots of right doors here. Guys, I love everybody.
Hey, have a great vacation, Ryan.
Thank you so much. You too, Maz.
Thanks, man. I
Yeah,
got
you
a
guys
couple
enjoy
days.
that good Florida weather.
Yeah, Lindsay. You too.
You're going to be enjoying it.
You're going to get it here.
You're going to be here.
You're going to get the same weather here as I'm going to get there.
Listen,
80
I'm going to need you to
degrees.
come in a few minutes early next week. I'm not going to
My
be here.
fault. I'll be in.
All right, you be here so the boys can work with you and get you going with Braylon.
I guess.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lindsay. Appreciate you, buddy. Maz, everybody out there, happy Easter.
Happy Easter,
Passover,
guys.
Ramadan, whatever you celebrate.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bless you all.
Happy life.
Absolutely. Be happy. Fletch, JB, love you guys. Love you as well. Tell a friend about Woodward Sports.
Ernie, thanks for coming.
Ernie!
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.